Welcome to Storyhive On-Location Victoria. We're coming to you live from House of Owl, Victoria's co-working club for creators, located on the unceded and ancestral territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people. It's a deep bow, deep love, and deep respect to the original caretakers of these lands. My name's Jordan Dack, poet, producer, all-around creative troublemaker, sitting here with an absolute legend, Nikky E, for a deep dive into the creative process and to the creator that is Nikky E. Now, I've got lots to say about Nikky E. Nikky is one of these people who does everything. She has been deep diving into the creative world, the creative process for probably as long as she's been alive, is my guess.
Pretty close.
Yeah, and she is a writer, educator, you put shows together,
Yeah.
festival producer. You're a nonstop. Why don't you share a little bit about yourself before we dive into the questions?
Tanse Niemesiotinaskweyo. My given name is Nikky Ermineskin. My MC name is Nikky E. Born and raised in Vancouver. East Van, home, that's home. My blood family is from Treaty 6, Saskatchewan. So like Flying Dust, First Nation, Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, Waterhen and Green Lake, all of that area is where my people are from. And we're Métis Cree. So yeah, I'm just so excited to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, one thing that probably nobody knows that's watching this back, and probably by the time you watch this back, it will be, not as true, but it is Nikky's birthday today. So happy birthday, Nikky, and thanks for spending it with me.
Yeah,
right?
Thanks.
Nikky's one of these people who I've known for a while. I consider her a good friend, and we're both very busy. And so sometimes it takes asking her to be on our interview to actually get a moment to sit down and talk together. So I'm looking forward to learning more about you.
Sweet.
So, where should we start? Okay, I know where we should start. Okay, I'm going to list a few quick facts.
Okay, cool.
And I believe they're all true, but if there's anything about them that's sort of not true or you want to fill in some context,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, Nikky E has a diploma in audio engineering and production and has spent over 22 years working across the music and arts world. True or false?
True.
That's true. True or false? Nikky worked with the Vancouver-based Indigenous youth organization for over a decade, helping them get a studio off the ground with storytelling and healing through music at the center of their work. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Knowledgeable Aboriginal Youth Association, Kaya. They no longer exist, but they created many, many amazing Indigenous leaders and advocates and held space for us to be able to grow and try new things out. And yeah, they were the first ones that were like, here's some money, do a show. And it was like, what, I get to do a show?
Wow.
And that was the first time I made a mixtape. That was the first time I produced anything. It was fresh out of like audio engineering school, and I think that was probably one of the most impactful and like best experiences that I had so far. Like just being introduced into the Indigenous community in Vancouver in a very authentic way, whereas before I didn't really have that connection. I was more of like a kid just existing. I didn't know my culture. I was displaced, so I didn't have that connection.
Just
and
floating a bit. Hey?
Yeah, and it was through that organization that I started to find my culture, my identity, and my voice, and I'm forever grateful for all of them. So yeah.
Do you think that it takes a community or an invitation like that to sort of find out or to really get clear on who you are, like a personal identity?
Ooh, I think it's a mix of both. Like I think you definitely need community. And I don't know, I think everyone's process is different. For me, I needed to feel like I was a part of something. I think for a lot of my life, even now, like I'm kind of an introvert, believe it or not. Like I regenerate my energy on my own. And
So this like interview thing is not like a daily occurrence for you? You don't.
No, not right now, but it might be. We'll see what the future holds, but yeah, no, I think it's a bit of both. Like, I think I was so isolated as a teenager, and in my early 20s finding community and finding my identity and like finding my voice again, and like that was, yeah, I needed that because I wouldn't have been able to find that on my own, I feel.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of folks that lived in the same neighborhood, that were around the same age, and
Interesting.
we all had these like really big dreams. But also, I feel like the alone time and the isolation is where I get the work done. Is when it like comes and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do the thing, and that's when I decide, and that's when I have those conversations with myself, right? Those.
Okay, I want to dive into that.
Okay.
Oh, just a second. Okay. A few more truth or fallout. They're all true. Nikky took a break after having her son and started performing again during the pandemic, remembering how she loved being on stage. Is that true?
Yes, very true. I was working with Cook Island Music Festival, and we brought Curtis Clearsky and the Constellations over.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Kaya. He was actually one of my first mentors through Kaya. So yeah, I remember recording his demos in the basement of the Friendship Center, and like that's where like, oh my goodness, there's so much I could just, my heart just starts exploding when I start reminiscing. But yeah, that. So anyways, he came here and kind of caught me off guard and was like, hey, come on stage and rap with my band. And I was like, he's like, just do it. I'm like, okay. And then I remember just going on stage, and then it was a whole band, and it was just like, as soon as I picked up that mic and I started rapping again, it was like all, like I could just feel like the goosebumps and that energy come back. And I looked up and I remember seeing my friends in the back just being like,
what was that?
Like they all didn't know I rapped. And
right.
yeah, and then that night I ended up being asked to headline a show, which would probably be one of my first ever headlining shows, and we ended up selling that out, and it was like, yeah, so it was like just that like 2 minutes that I was on stage.
Okay, so you're talking right now, and I'm hearing the words, but I'm also just seeing your level of glow just go through the roof. So what part of that, can you pinpoint what is causing that happen right now in your body, in your glow factors?
Oh, I would say 8-year-old Nikky. Like, in all honesty, I've been doing a lot of like inner child work, and I feel like a lot of that passion and that excitement comes from that time when I had all these really big dreams, and I was like, I really want to do these things, and that's when it didn't seem impossible. Before life happened. And yeah, there's something that happens when I don't know, it's just, I'm able, as soon as I have the mic, I'm just able to take off the mask, right? That's something that I tell my daughters. Like, a lot of folks, they go on stage and they put the mask on. It's a performance, and that's what the stage is for, right? But it's for many things. And for me personally, it's the one place I can rip that mask off and I can be me. And like, I own that moment right there. And I can say what I need to say. I can be the person that I am. And I can own that energy in that and share it and co-create with the audience, right? And
so now I have goosebumps. Thank you. Thank you for that. So it sounds to me, if I'm getting it right, that there's something about the essential Nikky that that has its home on stage, or that has its home in a place where it has the essential Nikky has something to say and is here for a reason. And do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, I struggled with that for, I think, half of my life. I struggled with feeling important enough to say what I needed to say, and like the imposter syndrome. And I think, I'm so used to being behind the camera and like behind the scenes that it was harder for me to, take that step to be on stage and be in my creativity and share that with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that you have more imposter syndrome when you're behind the camera or when you're on stage?
When I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like videography for me is like more of like a fun hobby, amateur thing. You know, like I don't consider myself a professional,
Even
but
though
I
you
want.
have mad experience,
but
right?
I don't, like, you know, like when, especially like in a place like House of Owl, like we're surrounded by amazing professionals, and I'm just like, it's not like I'm comparing, you know. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like I would consider myself more of a engineer than an audio engineer than a videographer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think over both of those, the dream was to be on stage.
Oh, okay.
But the journey went all these other places.
Yeah.
But I needed to know all those things. It's very much like happened for a reason, and I believe that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bring me way back. Bring me to Vancouver. Bring me to East Van. Tell me about East Van and tell me what it gave to you as an artist that another location couldn't have given you.
East Van. East Van's home. East Van will always be home, you know? I consider, you know, we joke around and call like the commercial drive, we call it like the East Van Res, because there's more Indigenous housing in that area per capita compared to everywhere else.
Okay.
And I think in BC in general, like I think it's there's a lot of Indigenous folks from all over the world essentially. And something that I really take from that is the collective teachings that I received from, you know, being displaced, right? So I don't have that connection to my land or my family per se, right? Like there's a disconnect there. But in Vancouver, I was welcomed with open arms in many situations and with elders and community members, and I got to learn their ways, and I got to experience ceremony and start to go into what it means to be an Indigenous woman, you know, and what that looks like, because it wasn't a thing before that, you know. My grandpa was a fluent Cree speaker, and then after they took me when they were in their early 50s, he became a reverend and like got sober and changed his whole life around. So like I grew up in this very it was very both worlds at the same time. And as far as my personal journey, I think Vancouver.
It's a little Gemini.
Yeah.
Happy birthday again.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I was just able to be in so many situations where I was trusted to share my creative ideas and then follow through on them. And I got to witness the rise of Indigenous hip hop from the very beginning, and and then that whole Kaya thing too. Like we go back to the very beginning, and we're like, well, I wanted to rap since I started writing when I was 10. I started rapping when I was 13, and I did all through high school awkwardly. But it wasn't until I got this random email that was like, Native hip hop barbecue at the Friendship Center. I was like, Native hip hop? I'm like, I'm so there. Open the thing, and it was actually a job posting for Knowledgeable Aboriginal Youth Association. And I applied because I was like, well, maybe.
Was some Native hip hop clickbait or something?
No, but it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. It had nothing to do with, like, it was a wrong email. Like, they accidentally attached the job posting instead of the poster. But I ended up applying for it. I didn't get it. I didn't have any experience in advocating for it.
Given it to you.
But they ended up, Manic Wonderful and a whole crew of amazing people brought a bunch of youth together, and they created a mixtape. And they ended up making $5,000 from it. And they said, we need help figuring out what we need to buy for the studio. And then that's where it started. So I ended up starting volunteering, and then that led into them paying me to organize a coming of age ceremony for urban Indigenous kids, which was just like, and it was the first time I went to a sweat lodge. It was the first time that I actually had a real experience in that way in community. And it was, in a way, was like my coming of age ceremony too, even though I was in my early 20s at that point. But yeah, and Vancouver is just a hub for creativity in general and music. And, you know, we get all the cool artists that come through. And it's just, it's East Van in particular has its own identity and heartbeat. And I really do feel like it's the heart of that whole city. And
when you write a song now, when you're writing a rap, do you feel like East Van is still with you when you're writing it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. They won't ever. Yeah. You know, you can take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the girl. Like that's you know, like that's part of. Even when I teach, I still feel it's there, because I remember being that kid, you know, and yeah, I didn't go to. I went to one of the poorest elementary schools and high schools, and yeah, I was lucky when I was 10. Actually, here's a story. The first time that I was on stage or ever got to experience that, one of my teachers pushed me to audition for this summer performing arts school. And they were giving like tuition away to, I think, 3 students in Vancouver that were lower income. And I ended up auditioning and getting it. Yeah. And I was 10, and I was in that whole program for about 3 years. And yeah, that's where it was just like that. I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. And yeah, and then.
Can I ask, had you written your first rap yet?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you were going there already having sort of a sense of that this is a world that you could exist in. And
yeah, but it wasn't so much like rapping.
Yeah.
Like I think at that point I was like, it'd be cool to do theater, or it'd be cool to like, you know, but I don't know. I think it was always in the back of my head. Like ever since I was a little kid, like I knew I wanted to be a performer. I knew that I had something to say. I knew it made me feel good. But I kind of just kept putting in the background because all these other things were happening that were really impactful, and I was able to share my skills. And
okay, so that right there, would you say that has happened throughout your life as well, or just at the beginning? Can you speak to that a bit, where there's so many things, right?
Yeah, honestly, like my whole life has been very like serendipitous. I feel like it's just the right people, the right time, the situation, the experience, like just being somewhere and not, you know, like that wasn't the intention. And then that meeting leading to something else, or having a wild dream and then talking to someone and they're like, hey, I actually do this thing. Like, can I help you? And like, I really do feel like, apart from the performing stuff, like the work that I do in with education and media with the youth, I feel like that was very much like, that was a path that I wasn't expecting, or I didn't I didn't plan for. Like that was very much the universe being like, we know you want to be a rapper, but we want you to teach these kids how to rap first.
Yeah.
Like these kids need to do what they need to do.
Okay. And question that, and I know I've only asked one of the questions I plan to ask you so far, but question is, do you know that the universe is working for you? Do you notice it while it's happening, or is it always in hindsight?
Oh, I notice it before it happens.
Even before, I didn't even offer that as an option. That is.
It's very conscious, like I think it's very like. It's like you have this like idea or this like something in you, right? And it's like this really needs to get done. I don't know how it's gonna get done, but you know, I'm like. It's kind of like you make this agreement with yourself where you're like, the opportunity's presented, I'll do it. And then 2 days later, the opportunity's there. And you're like, wait, what?
Right. I guess I got to do this. Yeah.
But and this is what I also teach kids too, is like the power of your thoughts and your words, like create your reality. Like that's how powerful you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so it's just like having an intentional, like saying it out loud or having this intention, and then things happen, and then you're in the situation doing the thing, right? And
That's so cool because it gives you know, like this conversation, and these conversations are all about the creative process, but it gives a whole nother framing to the creative process, you know, outside of the beauty of writing raps and making films and doing these things, but actually creating one's experience of life and the path that we're on. I mean, that's huge. That's like the essential creative process behind it all.
Yeah, very intentional. I right out of high school, I was like, I'm not cut out for this 9 to 5 stuff. Like I tried doing the office job stuff, right? Like I did it for years, and as much as like I loved what I was doing in it, it was like, I don't know, it was like something just didn't feel right. And I was like, I need to be able to do this on my own terms. And I want to prove that I can do it on my own terms. Like, who's stopping me from, you know, like it. And I was in a position where, you know, like this is before I was diagnosed with ADHD and all the acronyms. So like I was struggling, and my doctor's like, I'm going to put you on PWD because you need to take a break. Like, you're about to have a heart attack. Like, I was like burnt out, and I just kept going and going. And so I was in a position to be like, okay, well, what would my life, now that I know that, you know, my rent is paid and there's food in the fridge, what would my life look like now that I have that, right? And I have stability. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, I'm going to chart this course, and I'm just going to keep walking and seeing where it leads, and trust that it's, you know, I'm going to see something at some point. And like, I don't know. I think more at the end of the day, my intention was to work with like youth and community, and to be able to show them that like your dreams and your ideas and the way you want to live your life isn't out of reach. It's very tangible. And I think that's something really important, is that we all need to start looking outside of the box, and where we either put ourselves or where, you know, society puts us, right? Like, as an Indigenous woman, there's not much expectation, right? Like, growing up, even today, like, you know what I mean? Like, even to now, like, the expectation to be successful, to follow your dreams, to have the things, right? And to live a good life, and, you know, a life that you're proud of isn't something that was instilled, and it was something that needed to be learned the hard way. And for me, I want to make it easier for the kids. I want to make it easier for the youth. So if that means that I have to take all the hits and learn the hard way and start building the infrastructure to make it easier, then I'll do that gladly, you know? But like, I want to make it easier for them to live a life that they're proud of, and they want to, you know? And
that's exactly what you're doing. And okay, so we should build some context around this. So just maybe could you talk, you do so many things, but let's talk for a brief second, just kind of give the context around what you're doing in the schools right now.
Okay. So about 2 years ago, we did this workshop quite a bit, like about, I would say like 15 or so years ago. We were doing these workshops in Vancouver. We're creating songs, music videos, and like doing training around it, and just kind of, you know, there was a lot of people who were really talented, right? They didn't know where to start. And it's like, well, let's get you some content. And this is before social media started to become the main driver, and like, you know, like with Spotify and everything. So we were going through that transition then, and we realized the importance of content and to be represented online. So it's like, okay, well, let's start doing that.
Wow.
And
this is 15 years ago.
Yeah. And then, so that ended up, over the years, I ended up dabbling in all different projects and things. And then so anyways, long story short, I told that story because my daughter was like, you remember those workshops you used to do? The hip hop one. She's like, you should do that at the Friendship Center. with the kids. And I was like, what? I'm like, that's a brilliant idea. And I'm like, huh. And I was like sitting there trying to think of how to make that happen. And then I went to go pick up my son the next day at the conservatory, and I ended up meeting Daniel that day. And he had already reached out to me, like I'd probably say about 6 months before, but I was not in a place to be like, I'm like, I don't know if I can take on workshops right now. Like I was just kind of a little overwhelmed, and it just wasn't time. And that moment it was time. And I said, hey, my daughter suggested this. I used to do this thing, and kind of gave him the spiel, and he's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then like a couple weeks later, we were in there and we made the Bannock mechanics, and then that from there, he's like, we have funds for you to go in school if you want to do the same project, except it'll be stretched out through the whole school year. And I was like, oh, and it's like 45 minutes classes a week. So I consistently see about anywhere from like 100 to 150 kids a week.
Wow. So you go in for one full day?
No, so each class is 45 minutes.
Okay.
So usually each school I do 90 minutes a week. So 2 classes.
2 classes within the same school.
Yeah.
And how many kids are in one class?
About anywhere from 20 to 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did they? I mean, you know me. I'm in this world as well, so I've got to remember that we're doing an interview before I ask you too many like specific questions about working in the school system.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how do they choose the kids that are going to participate in the program?
The whole class.
The whole class.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now I'm working with 2 split classes, 4 or 5 at Craigflower.
Yeah.
I'm also at the tribal school in Brentwood, and that's all of the grade 6s.
Okay.
So there's an immersion class, and then there's just the regular stream kids, and so we're working with all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you come into the school, and let's pretend it's a school that hasn't had you there before. And what are the kids like on the first day?
Usually pretty shy, like, who are you?
Yeah.
I find when I work with Indigenous kids, like especially young Indigenous girls, I tend to give mom vibes or auntie vibes.
Right.
And they're instantly like, the next time they're like, can I give you a hug? And it's like, so it's very like, they see that, and they can see that I'm a mom. They can see that, like, and yeah, it's wild because it's like something changes specifically in them. I see right away where they're like, wait, like, oh, like I could do that.
Yeah.
Like she's doing like that, and it's kind of seeing yourself, in somebody else and somebody doing something, right? And when I was that age, we didn't see anybody. Like I didn't see, never mind Indigenous, like women in general.
Yeah.
Right? Like that wasn't a thing. And I also find it's like even with the boys, like I like a lot of energy, especially at that age, and like all the changes. But then I do find that like because I have this mom energy, that they come around, and then by the end of it, they're opening up, and they're like
super cool. Yeah, there's a trust there because of that energy.
Yeah, it's definitely it builds over the year.
Okay.
So we don't record until the end of the year, specifically for that reason.
Okay, so you say you don't record. So tell me what happens at the end of the year.
Oh, yes. Okay, so what we do is we go into the class. We do like hip-hop history. So we go over, and if it's an Indigenous class, I like to do Indigenous hip-hop history as well. And then we go right into beat making. So we start talking about, this is when I start talking about like, okay, this is how we count bars.
Yeah.
This is what a bar is. This is what it looks like. Right? And like, okay, so this is a DAW, and it's like slowly, it's like very 101, like very like introduce, like this is what you need, this is what this does. Okay, now another one I really like to play with is a Playtronica.
Oh yeah.
So we can like connect it to fruit and stuff. So it just make it fun, and then I explain it while they're doing it how it's working.
So Playtronica is, do you want to explain it? It's like a device with alligator clips that connects to anything that has. What is it? An electrical current, I guess.
Yeah, it's conductive.
It's conductive, and you can use it to make music.
Yeah.
Basically, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bring that into your classes?
Yeah,
sweet.
And then we slowly start building our beat. So we go with ideas. I show them that I really put a big emphasis on idea, and not so much of like, okay, like having a plan so much, it's very much like, okay, what do you want to say? How do you want to say it? What are we feeling? What are we feeling as a class? And this year I noticed that all of the classes have been kind of like their energy level's been lower. And I've noticed that they'd be really aware of what's going on in the world. And you could see it and you could feel it. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of this melancholy feeling where it's kind of like, I don't really want to be here. I don't want to be at school. I'd rather be home. And that's kind of been the consensus this year around all the classes. So I'm like, let's go with it.
Yeah, let's
lean into it.
100%.
Right? Like, what is that going to look like? And then slowly we start building it. And then we start building the beat. And some kids like, oh, a cool bass would be cool. What kind of bass? I don't know. One that goes like, it's like, okay, I got you. And then we like add it. And then.
Just a second. I just want to acknowledge that what you're allowing in these students, you know, that any experience is welcome and okay. And creativity isn't a bouncer or a gatekeeper at the door. If what you're feeling that day is a little down, that's great. Let's write about that. Let's dig into down. If you're feeling happy, let's dig into that. And all the 1,000 other emotions in between those two. So just well done. I mean, that's incredible because that's not always what students receive in the school system. And sometimes it can feel that some emotions are welcome and some aren't. But that's not the case when you're creating. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to thank you personally for that. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Also, the other thing with the classes, too, is I tend to work with a lot of neurodivergent kids. So whether it's ADHD or they're on the spectrum or higher on the spectrum, sometimes it's harder to, like, help hold space where they're very like they have so much, their energy is so big that it's like it can very much influence it. So instead of being like, hey, be quiet, or hey, let's just sit down, or hey, let's do something else, I kind of embrace it. I embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, and then I let them know, like, I'm also neurodivergent. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And then by the end of it, they're on the mic. You know, and it's like it's just, there's something about that creative process that allows everyone to just be authentic in that moment. And I would rather teach them about being authentic than rapping at the end of the day. But like, it's also very important to use your voice. It's also very important to be able to express yourself. So we make the beat, and then we record the song. So we write a song. So we write the hook all together. We collectively write the hook. And then they all break out and they all write 4 bars. So everyone gets 4 bars in the song. Some do less, some do more, depending. And then we record it, and then we shoot a music video.
You shoot a music video?
Yes.
I can't even imagine how that's possible in that context.
You just make it happen.
You just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we just make it happen. Like, I want to show them that you can create without having all the fancy equipment. Right? Like, I can show you how to make a beat for free. Right? Like, I can show you how to edit videos for free. Like, you know, like, this is, like, you can create, you can express yourself. You can do these things without having all the fancy things, right? And I try to keep it really basic as possible and very accessible.
I imagine because of privacy, right? Like, are any of these music videos online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this would just be a good time. Like, how would somebody find a video if they were out looking for one?
YouTube. So the Victoria Conservatory of Music. I believe their handle is the VCM on YouTube. So you would find their page, click on it, and there's a playlist of the hip hop kids. So there's 5 videos from last year, and then there'll be 4 more added on the 21st of this month. And then we're doing an intensive summer camp with the Esquimalt Nation youth this summer that are doing the same program.
Okay.
But this program gets to go a little bit deeper because we receive funding for it. Also from Telus. Thank you, Telus. We're able to do a bit more. So, like, our beat making, we're going to be going into Goldstream. There's enough iPads at the Nation, so all the youth can have iPads. We have enough Playtronicas. So what we're going to do is we're going to make beats with nature while we have an elder and knowledge keeper there. And we're going to have, yes, I know, this has been a dream. So I'm like, wow. Yeah. So we're going to have this beautiful creation with the land. And we're going to incorporate that into our beat and into our song. And I think it's just really important to mix the two, right? I think youth are very digital and very screen-based these days. So I feel like having, like to hear the audio of a beautiful, like, grandfather tree is different. Like, it would hit different than just standing there being like, oh, I'm hitting the tree and making a noise. Like, you're actually working with that frequency of that tree.
Absolutely.
And you're co-creating. And for me, it's like, that connection to land, especially these youth who are from here, right? Like, this is a different way we can connect.
Incredible. Because it's not only listening, but it's like you're jamming with the land. Like, that is really something. And inviting the kids to offer something themselves, and that's huge.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why all this stuff happens in isolation.
Yeah.
Like, these happen like years ago, these ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for the conservatory and them just like receiving my wild ideas with open arms and being like, let's do it. Like, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. They're incredible. And when wild ideas are incredible as that, then, it's a kind of a no-brainer, but also huge shout out to the conservatory. Okay. I feel like we could talk about the students for hours.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd love to just for a second touch back into Nikky, the creator, which all of this is part of your creative force and creative energy, of course. But talk to me about your creative process, like when you are writing, when you're creating music, when you're whatever you want to speak to, but tell me about what that looks like for you.
Chaotic.
Yeah. Does it start in chaos?
Oh, I think so.
Do you have any structures or rituals around your creativity?
No. It's one of those things that, like, my first single that I'm going to be releasing this summer, well, it's not, but yeah, but a song I'll be releasing this summer, took me a year to write the whole song.
Yeah.
Like, it just came in pieces. And the first verse was here when we did the lunch ciphers.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I went all in and finished writing that song, but it came in pieces. Like, it wasn't just sitting there writing. And I wanted it to be, like, funny. I wanted it to be uplifting. I really, I don't know. I think in the past, it was a lot of trauma being, sitting in that or trying to understand it or work through it. And I think, the farther that my healing journey goes and I start to know myself more, I'm starting to take a big step away from, I don't really want to call it that, but like the trauma, the exploitation of the trauma. Like, I feel like that's very prevalent. We know what that feels like. But what does it feel like to take that and transmute it and put it into something beautiful? What does it mean to uplift people with that? Like, how do I take that pain and I make something fun out of it? Right? Like, and I think for me, that's where I'm at right now, is challenging myself to not go back to what is comfortable, because it's easy to sit in the crap. Right? I'm like, I'm not there anymore. That's in the past. Okay. But it will always be there. Trauma's always, but how do we use it? And we use it in a good way and not let it destroy us. We have to let it out. Right. Yeah. And I feel like in transmuting that into something positive and fun and uplifting, I think that would have more impact than me being like, oh, poor me, and, yeah. Like, I'm not a victim at the end of the day. It's life experience. Like,
and you know what I'm hearing too? Like, first of all, I feel like hip hop is uniquely positioned to be able to express all the various human experiences. There is the music, the processing of trauma that hip hop is. We've heard that music all the time. But there's also, there's the party hip hop tunes. There's also the protest hip hop. There's so many faces of hip hop that it's just waiting there like a blank canvas. Like, how would you like to paint on me today? But do you find to create a song that you're writing now that is fun and you're having a good time with, but you have written songs from another place. Do you feel like they give your happy songs more authenticity because it's not always where you've come from? Do you know what I mean? If it was all happy songs since the beginning, do you think that they would hit in the same way or be trusted? No.
I think it was a journey and a process to even get to a place of sitting with happiness.
Right.
Like for real, like living like, most of your life in survival mode and then finally finding stability and leaning into who you are and feeling safe to do that. And then realizing like, oh, hey, like I've actually done a lot of healing. Like I'm actually pretty happy. Like, wait, like all of these great things are happening. And it's like, oh, like I'm not there anymore, right?
Yeah.
But because I went through it, like that, the experience, like no, like how can I say that? It's like the experience adds to it because it's showing a challenge and then getting through that challenge. And then what's on the other side of that, right? And I don't know, like I'm just figuring it out. Like this is the first time in my life haven't been in survival mode or like not like stable, right? So it's like who am I now, right?
That's incredible, yeah. And it sounds like whatever what will be consistent for you along your creative journey is that you'll probably be authentic.
Oh yeah.
Right. I know you. You will always be authentic in your creativity and the way you express yourself. And so it really says something great about where you're at in your life, because the happy music, I mean, I haven't heard that, and I hope that I get to hear a little bit, maybe even in this interview. But that must say something great about where you're at right now. And it's not ever all happy, I assume. Or maybe that's just me. But the fact that you can sit there and write something with that energy that's authentic to where you're at is huge.
Yeah, it's taken a long time, though. I think for most of my life, I kept a lot of it just hidden or inside, and I didn't want to be a burden. Like all the things, right? And it's really my daughter, honestly. It's my daughter, watching my daughters start to step into music and find their voice and what they like to create and I'm sitting there like, whoa, like this is, it's the first time that I sit and I actually witness the hard work, right? The experience, the pain, the struggle, the happiness, the opportunity, all of that experience. I see that. I see it paying off when I hear her rap or I hear her sing and I hear her taking that heavy energy and changing it into something else.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And like just having my kids at home and like that's a huge cycle that's being broken, like I don't know. I don't want to get too deep, but like like the life that I'm living now is probably hasn't been done in my lineage. Like I'm the first generation to not go to residential school. And yeah, I still have my mom, but my dad passed away. I didn't know them. I was displaced from them, right? So like music and creativity has brought that to me. Yeah. It brought me my family. It brought me stability. It brought me authenticity. It brought me myself. It brought me enough confidence to be like, no, this is me. And I'm proud of me. Yeah. I have something to say and I'm allowed to say it, and then even getting to the point of being like, okay, I'm going to say this and not worry about how it's going to be received, which is...
That's huge.
Yeah.
Is that happening now or when? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's still a struggle because it pops up, right? The social media, all the things, right? And it's just like, no, like that's other people's perceptions and projections. It has nothing to do with me. Yeah. Right? Like, are you going to come talk to me or, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Right? Like what I'm doing right now, what I can see, what I can feel, who I'm talking to, what I'm, like that matters.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, like that's what I teach my kids. It's like, just, dude, like the minute that you take that power back, right? Like you don't give your power away to people when they're going through something, right? Like you can use that in a good way.
Yeah. And when you see your daughter making music, and what is that process like? What does support for her process look like?
I bought her turntables without even knowing if she'd like it or not. She just was like, "Can I have turntables? Can I?" I finally I got her deck. I was like, "Okay, boom."
That's awesome.
And she killed it.
Yeah.
First night, she's like, "Oh, Mom, check this out." I was like, "Are you kidding? I'm like, I don't even know what you just did."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh."
You'd like, don't forget, I was in the room when she was freestyling at Lunch Cipher, and I don't know if it was her first or second time doing that in front of people, but it sounded like her 100th time. Like she just took to it.
Yeah.
Everyone in that room was speechless.
That was the first time I ever cried in a cipher.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
What is happening? Yeah.
That was just all the worlds and all the hard work, just and then seeing the things that she's been through and how, it's like I'm still standing here and I'm still gonna do the thing, and it's like, yeah, you are, like, that's my kid. And I'm like, so I don't know, I really do feel like that moment really did change me and really like solidified that what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And also she always pushes me to be like, no, you need to make more music, no, you should be recording more music, and it's like, and she gives me honest feedback, and now she's my hype man, so every time I perform she's like doing the backup.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we're about to record a song together.
Get out.
Yes.
Yo.
So that's gonna be on my
the
EP.
dream, right?
Yeah. So and it's wild because like sometimes she'll come with me to class. Yeah. She gets credit for it. Okay. And I just see how she's just able to like, I don't know what it is, but her dad was also a rapper, so she grew up in ciphers. Like she was that baby crawling around while everyone's rapping and like going to shows and just being in community. And so it's a big part of who she is. So to see where that's come, and like recently we were listening to drum and bass, and she's sitting there just like bam, bam, bam. She's found that downbeat, and I was just like, holy crap, dude! I'm like, this is next level. So
sounds like something that's like in her, like
far more
than
me.
Need to look for it; it's there.
Yeah, and like that's the mark of like an artist. Like I feel like when you're born with it and you lean into it, and it's just like this beautiful thing. And for me, music more was like, I'm going to do this thing because at first it was like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I want to grow from it, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then it kind of became like, no, like this is the one time I can say what I want. But I look at her and I see somebody who's been doing it for as long as I have, right? Yeah. And like like if she leaned into that, she would be so successful, And like my path is a little different, and for me now, it's more important that I'm on the stage because I'm walking my talk, and I don't want to teach these kids anything that I can't back up. Mm-hmm. Like I'm always gonna stand 10 toes down. Like that comes with authenticity, right? Like there's no in between. Like if I'm going to teach it, then I have to do it.
Yeah,
and
I love that, especially at that age. I mean, up until we become adults, unfortunately, like their authenticity radar meter is like they don't want to hear anything from anyone who isn't being authentic, and that's why they'll sit in the classroom with a teacher that isn't, and they'll just switch off. Yeah, but then someone walks through the door that walks the walk, walks the talk.
Yeah,
then they're there for it. Yeah,
it's very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think teaching is I don't know. It's definitely a gift. I don't think all people have it, but when you do, something magical happens. And I think back to the teachers that I've had over the years, and I'm just like, I remember the ones that really impacted me. Yeah. And you know, they're just amazing teachers, and that's their purpose, you know. And yeah, so I definitely see it in the kids, and I don't know. I know that I have this magical power where I'm able to engage a bunch of like 9 and 10-year-olds, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like same thing. I can go into an ECE class with like preschool kids, and they're all dancing and they're all doing the thing and they're all involved, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm just gonna keep doing it, you know. And
and maybe not questioning it is part of it. It's just you're hyper present.
Yeah.
So tell me about the role that you see hip hop or music or creativity plays in the path of truth and reconciliation for Indigenous youth.
Loaded question.
Answer it in any way that you want.
Reconciliation needs to start with the individual before we even talk about any kind of race relations or anything. We need to reconcile with ourselves. We need to reconcile with each other, our family groups, our community groups, and then go out from there. I feel like hip-hop is one of those ways to be creative where you can do the healing, you can say the things, you can not edit yourself, right? Like, there's so much truth that needs to be spoken, whereas if I sat here and said what I need to say, it wouldn't be received the same way, regardless of how passionate or how true or whatever, right? People are just going to hear the trigger words, and it's just going to be the spiral, right? But when I say it on stage and I have conviction, I'm saying with my whole heart and my spirit, they're going to feel it.
Yeah.
Right? And like, that's when that magic happens. And it's like, whoa, like you just brought me into it, and now I can see you, and you can see me. And then that's when we can even start to have a conversation. And yeah, I think with hip hop, the ideologies and the culture of hip hop are very unity based, very universal, very like, it correlates to the medicine wheel. And this is something that I teach Indigenous kids specifically when I work with them, how the elements of hip hop are in line with the teachings of the medicine wheel, and how we can use hip hop to be a holistic person.
Wow. Could you say more, please?
Yeah. And like, that's, for me, it's like, even just seeing, I feel like even having you just get on stage or make the video, make the song, and then having people who are going through their own reconciliation process see that and see, wait, holy moly, like that. For me, it's the kids, right? Like, I'm trying really hard. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if anyone knows me, they know where I want to go with this.
Do you feel like this isn't the venue?
Well,
for
no,
it,
I just don't. You know, I feel like I can.
Yeah.
I want to be tactful. I feel like to see young Indigenous kids speaking their truth and being confident and being real in such a young age, or using their language or the drum songs or the dancing, like, those things are the things that are going to matter the most at the end of the day. Like, we look at social media under any Indigenous story, you see how people look at us and treat us and what they actually think, right? When reality, that's not how it is, and those are projected, right? Because there's uncomfortability with the truth, the fact this whole empire's falling, and everything that a lot of folks knew wasn't even true. Like, I get it. I've been through the ego death, the spiritual. I've been through it, you know, and I've been through it many times. Trust me. Like, And so I understand. I have compassion for it. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to get to them. I'm not trying to get to my 40-year-old neighbor who already is doing what they do and have a mindset. I'd rather talk to their grandkid. I'd rather talk to their kid and be like, hey, where are you at? Okay. Because they're going to be the ones that have to execute the reconciliation, the actual act of it.
Yeah.
We are literally sitting here like just thinking of what it could look like, right? Like, what is that? And I feel like there's not a lot that's actually happening. And anytime that something does make progress, we got the stampede of folks who are like, shut up, you know, like, how dare you, you know? And it's just like, so it's complicated, but at the end of the day, children, they have pure hearts. They have pure spirits, right? They're not going to come and lie. They're going to say what they need to say, right? And I would rather hear their voice and see how they, like, what their ideas are, what their solutions are, than to sit with adults and talk about it, because I feel like we just end up chasing the tail, and then it starts becoming performative, and it starts becoming this thing, and it's just like, okay, well, I get it, and I appreciate it. Like, I don't want to say that I don't appreciate the conversation. I do. I just think it's tiring for a lot of Indigenous people who've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, you know, to constantly have to educate and, just hold space for folks who don't want to use their energy to learn the truth or deny the truth. And
sounds exhausting.
it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking exhausting. Sorry. It's so exhausting. Sorry. It's exhausting. It's you know, like I don't know. As Indigenous women, like, we do more work than most people do, and we're carrying so much. And when you do become successful, or you do have the tenacity, or you do have the drive or the ambition to do it, it's just like, it just starts getting piled on. And it's like you're carrying the weight of the world, right? And like, you're just looking for a moment to just be like, okay, I just want to rest and feel some peace. Or like, you scroll to doom scroll, and it's just like everything that you're trying to get away from. And it's just like, and then everything is so much harder. Like, the stupidest example, going to Shoppers Drug Mart, right? I'm going there to buy like hair dye. I have a dude following me everywhere I go. I go shopping, I go grocery shopping, right? It's like, and then to see it, like, I don't want to throw around the word empathic, but I feel it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel it when it's like you're being judged, or someone's like, how dare you do that? Or how dare you say that? And it's like, no, that's my truth.
Yeah.
Like, how you receive that isn't my business.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm still going to be here, and I'm still going to continue to achieve, and I'm still going to continue to excel. And so are my children, and so are your children. Right? At the end of the day, all these kids are kids.
Yeah. It sounds like you're really, even on a day-to-day basis, in moment-to-moment experiences, seeing it a lot from a pulled-back perspective, and a timeline that goes beyond what many of the people you interact with potentially are looking at things from.
Yeah, and I think, too, it's there's a lot of trauma. I don't know any Indigenous woman that doesn't have massive trauma, whether it's from, you know, like a colonial trauma, systemic trauma, like family trauma, like, and the thing is like, there's not enough support to support us going through that process of healing and letting it go, or learning how to transmute that energy, or what to do with it, or how to get through that. And in my life, that got me stuck. And that's when the worst things in my life happened, is because I was stuck. I felt helpless. I felt like there was no help. I felt like there was no support, that my voice didn't matter, you know? And it was just like, it was just like, oh, I guess I'm the stereotype. I can't get away from it.
Jeez.
And that was always common in high school. Like, you better do right, or you're going to end up like people downtown, right? And it's just like, that has always been the narrative for Indigenous youth, especially urban Indigenous youth. And I don't know. The older I got, the more tired of it, and the more I started using my voice, and the more I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, no, we're going to heal from this. And then I'm going to work with young people. I'm going to work with community to help hold space so that we can all heal together, so that we can all experience something that's uplifting, so that we can all like be inspired.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then at the end of the day, that's not just for Indigenous people, that's for all of us.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
And do you feel that music and creativity that can be used for healing do you feel like it's being integrated enough in a place like Victoria?
I think it could be more. I think, I don't know. I can't really speak to Victoria too much. Like, I moved here 8 years ago, and I was just so blessed that, like, everything kind of was just meant to be, and everything fell into place. And I know that I'm supposed to be here, but also I don't know the history of, like, the hip-hop scene here. I don't know where it came from or how that evolved, or, like...
How about just in general, then, in terms of the role of hip-hop or music and its role in the healing process? If you could transport yourself to the future where it is playing the role that you feel it should play, what does that look like? How integrated is it in the school system, or in how much does the government support it, or what does that look like in Nikky's ideal future?
It's part of the curriculum from kindergarten, grade 12. There's a hip-hop education center based out of New York. They have a whole curriculum. It's accessible online from pre-K all the way to grade 12. I think having it part of school for creative purposes, for healing purposes, for expression, for confidence building, for empowerment, building community. Because when you're creative, you go in a vulnerable space, and when you're creating with somebody, you create a bond, right? And I feel like those bonds that are created in creativity end up lasting longer, and like being more
so true.
Connected, right? And I just want to see these kids feel like they're part of a community, that they're connected to each other. And and I see myself a lot in the quiet kids and the awkward kids, you know, and I'm like, but it's always, at the end of the day, it's always them who have the most to say, or like, and I'm just like, like, I don't know. I just want I want to see it incorporated so that, you know, when youth graduate and they start to experience adulthood, that there's tools. And it might not be a conventional tool like going to a therapist or writing, well, it could be writing, but like something that you can do right in that moment.
Right.
That's going to take that energy and change it into something else.
That's so brilliant. I mean, maybe that's one of the most beautiful parts about creativity as being part of the healing process, is that there's nothing between the person who's seeking healing and that process. They could do it right now if they wanted. They don't even need a pen and paper if they don't have one in front of them. You know? Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, that's huge.
And I think those are things that we're not taught. Like, we're a very capitalist world. Like, everything is money. You have to go see someone to do a thing, to do this, to do that. And again, it goes back to my career path of being like, no, I actually want to learn this stuff. Like, I want to know how to do it. And it was important to me, especially in the music industry. Like, start getting wild, you know, we all know how it is. And like, I wanted to be able to navigate that and understand it, right? Like, I wanted to be able to go into a situation and know how it's working, and like be aware of it, so that I wouldn't be in a position where, you know, something could happen. And then I want to teach kids how to do that so they keep themselves safe, right? Because like in any industry, right? Like there's situations you could put yourself in that aren't the best. And
and I mean, I hear what you're saying, and on top of it, like, just the creative pursuit in life is not necessarily the easiest path going either. And like, what would you say, what do you want youth to know and kids coming up to know about the creative life if they were to choose that?
best choice I ever made. Like, it was the best
Yeah.
to live in authenticity and learn how to heal in that, and like letting go of what I was expected to be, or and then stepping into real authenticity. Like, that's, and my voice and the voice, right? Like, those are the two biggest things, even more so than healing. Like, I feel like you need to have a certain amount of authenticity and honesty and vulnerability with yourself to even get to a healing place.
Well said.
And you'll need to also have your voice, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like, having young people understand how powerful that is and how powerful they are, like that, I want them to know how powerful they are.
Yes.
And that their ideas can change the world, and they can change yourself, it can change your family, it can change your community.
Yeah.
But you have to be brave enough to say it. You have to be brave enough to meet that prayer halfway.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you say you got a song that's coming out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if, like, I'd love for you to, if you could, I'd like to invite you to share a bit of it or it. Now, we don't have a speaker, though. I just realized in this moment, we could do two things. Either you get a little a cappella on us, or we grab your phone and I make sure that it's close to this microphone, and it'll all work out in post-production here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just play it from my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so this, for a little context, this first verse the hook came to me when we were doing the lunch ciphers. So we used to do like a lunchtime cipher for about an hour and just like hang out and rap. And it was really nice. And it was really needed for me. I think that really like sparked that again to be
you
like.
And me both.
Yeah.
My
I'm like,
favorite
we should do it again.
hour of the week.
I'm like, now we need to bring it back because I think it was, I just, and then this came out, and then slowly over the year, like the other parts started coming out, and then I just recently did the whole thing for my daughter, and she's like, that's gonna change your life. Yeah. Like that. She's like, that's like, it's fun, it's awesome, it's you. Like, she's like, you did a good job, and I was like, oh my god. My 16-year-old daughter thinks it's good. I'm like,
there you go. That's the trophy. That's the one,
So that's just a little context to it. Let me find the beat. And the beat is by Wonder Keys. We met in East Van many, many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
I believe he lives in Miscochise now. But yeah, he was a producer, and I really loved his beats. And he did beats for some of the most amazing Indigenous hip-hop artists that were first starting. So a lot of these songs that are like classics now are like his beats.
No way.
So I always wanted one of his beats, and this was the beat.
This happened.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay, so if it's cool, let me just get, so this mic is now.
Okay. I might not do the whole thing, but.
Yeah, whatever you feel.
Feeling kind of blue, Marge Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. I'm feeling kind of blue, Marge Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. Rolling up to the Quickie Mart on a Tuesday. I'm counting my blessings. Gotta grab me a squishy. Don't push me, cause I'm embodying my divine feminine energy. Went from having dreams to having dreams chase me. Meeting my prayers halfway in. I'm taking my time so I could live the dream. The sunshine. Sunshine, sunshine, RBF stone cold, but I'll be straight chillin'. Truth be given, villain, not sinning, still winning. Flying high with the gifts I've been given. Yeah, I'm feeling kinda blue. Maud Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. I'm feeling kinda blue. Maud Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. I'm that babe in the nerdy glasses, knowledge to match a thick frame list with an East Van accent. I'm that square with the BDE, yeah, that's me, the one you all came to see. We came for what we're owed, fulfilling prophecies. Now just let me be what I'm meant to be. Anything they try to take away, they couldn't take away from me. Transmuting energy instantly. This is a gift, you see. When you give it all you got, you make her story. An intellectual being seeing what the eyes can't see. A new timeline, different dimension. A new galaxy, yeah, I'm feeling kinda blue. Maud Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we I'm feeling kinda blue. Maud Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. Staying in my own lane while my car speakers play. Y'all can hear me coming from a mile away. Writing my raps with Crayola. Middle of the night, ADHD scroller. Came to slay, changed the game. Rearranging timeline, time flies like an old Simpsons episode. I'll be predicting the future. The future is indigenous. Sorry, not sorry, we have never been the same. Didn't switch up or get swayed by the fame. Stay streetwise with my eyes on the prize. This is my war cry. We be heavy hitting, not quitting. This is just the beginning, even though sometimes I be feeling kinda Maud Simpson, looking for my own homie, but I ain't tripping. 1 in a million, everything's coming up. Millhouse, we winning. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter backs me up in that song, so she's gonna do. Yeah, she's gonna come in the hook and like back me up and do some ad libs in there on the song.
God, just so sick, so sick. I remember some of those lines from the lunch cipher.
Yeah.
And it was like, because that hook, you can't listen to the whole thing without jumping on the track with you. You know, like it's impossible. I imagine myself in the audience at some festival and the whole crowd is just singing that hook. Like, yeah.
That's what when I first came out, that's what I saw it too. I was like, oh, it's a great. I really love rappers who engage the audience. I love the back and forth. I love the like call and response. I love the when you're starting to exchange that energy, and that was something that I really wanted to incorporate into it, so that it was like, oh yeah, like you get the words. And
Totally.
yeah, there's a whole part that Angel's gonna do at the end where she's like kind of getting people to put their hands up and like this whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah, that's the first single that's coming out this summer.
That is such
Everything's
an ice
coming
cold
up,
single.
Millhouse.
I love it. Yeah,
And it's an ode to my childhood as well.
Yeah. I love how you weave the Simpsons reference throughout.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't just like in one spot.
That was Ron when he did when Ron did what was it called, the Elevation
The
series.
Elevation sessions.
Yeah, sorry. He was talking about hooks.
Yeah.
And how like songs should have multiple hooks in it.
Absolutely.
And I was when that happened, I was like, oh, that's the hook. I'm like the Simpsons.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah,
And I just like kept it going and like just made it fun. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just in this place in my life where I'm like, I'm done being sad.
Yeah.
Like this is what it looks like to be happy.
I just personally needed to hear that right now. So
Yeah.
thank you, Nikky, and thank you for sharing that song.
Yeah.
So sick. So when is that coming out?
Great question. I will be filming the music video July 12th.
Okay.
Which is also the same day I'll be headlining a show.
Is the music video of you headlining a show?
A little bit. It's going to be a little bit, but we're also going to film during the whole event. Like,
okay. Which event is this?
Victoria Pride.
Oh, go on.
Yeah.
Say what you can say.
Yeah, I was asked to be a headliner. So, yeah, I'm going
Headliner of Victoria Pride.
Victoria Pride with 9-year-old music. Hey. But
Classics.
yeah, but they didn't know I was coming out with all this new music. So I have 4 songs in the works now. I'm aiming for 6 for an EP. Yeah.
Yo.
So it's just
So cool.
literally the universe. This
Yeah.
is the universe being like, no,
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just do it, because like, what are the chances of that? Like, you know, and I'm totally ready, and I'm gonna have some people come up with me. My daughter's gonna be up there, and like my hype man, and we're gonna do a song together. And for me, like, that's the biggest thing. I'm just like, you know, like, screw my insecurity. I'm like, I'm gonna suck it up, because I'm like, I'm gonna be there for you, so that,
that's right.
you know, like,
Yeah.
you feel it's possible, because one day it's gonna be you doing this.
That's the fastest way to just sidestep the insecurity is to do
Yeah.
it for someone who's important to you.
Yeah, and it feels good. Like, it feels good. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
the dopamine's great. It's the
Yeah.
best way to get dopamine without hurting yourself. Like, you know, like,
for sure.
yeah.
Oh, well, congratulations on that. That's massive.
I know. I can't. I'm still in shock. I'm still like, okay. Like, even this interview right now, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, inside, I'm like, really? Is this really happening? Okay, cool.
I bet you a lot of your life is like that, though. Hey, it was.
Yeah. I've been in many situations, in many rooms, that I'm pinch myself, where I'm like, I don't even know how or why, but I'm grateful.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think probably the most talented and brilliant people in the world have imposter syndrome their whole life. I've seen interviews with all of my heroes, and the one thing that's in common is they're all like, I don't know what I'm doing here, or like, how did I get here? But they're the most brilliant people in the world, and maybe that's just part of staying humble and staying grounded too. You know?
Which are very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So 2 last questions for you, Nikky. One is, where can people find out more about you?
Oh, right now, Instagram, probably the best.
Nikky music or
NIKKYE_music. That's Instagram. Moving forward, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna roll out the release of everything. I'm thinking about doing a more independent way. That's like, yeah, I have some ideas. I'm not honestly, I'm not trying to like get 1 billion streams. Like, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's more of like a healing. Like, I'm doing it. I did the thing, you know? Good job. Yeah, but the YouTube will be another one, Nikky E Music.
Okay.
So I'll be releasing the songs with music videos, so they'll both come out at the same time. Yeah, I just follow those, and there'll be updates.
Yeah.
I'm pretty elusive right now on social media, so if you check my page, it's like just shows and different things that have happened over the year. But my daughter's really pushing me to make more content.
Yeah.
And like share my story and be online, and I'm like,
That's super comfortable for you, hey? Yeah.
I'm like, we'll see. I'm like, can we do
yeah.
funny videos where we like wear Jason masks and scare people? I'm like, I'm into that. Like the driving ones, or like karaoke in the car. I'm like,
just figure out what you feel good doing. That'll click.
yeah.
And which brings me to the last question. So, I would just love to know what is important to you right now, these days. Not a year ago, not a month ago, but what's important to you right now?
My family, stability, living our life in a way that feels good to us, and just breaking those cycles, letting go of all the stuff that comes through, you know, like all the generations and all the things, and just really like thanking it, being there and being like, thank you, you know, because I really do feel like a lot of that has gotten me through the darkest times of my life. But also, yeah, just living a life that no one else in our lineage was able to live, and to do it in a way that feels good and is helping other people.
Yeah.
you know, that it's not just us, it's like all of us, right?
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, doing things that are not normal, I guess, in a not normal way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just hoping to do more work with youth and community, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks for hanging out with me too.
Yeah.
It was a great talk.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm like, it was an honor. I'm just like, I'm not used to being in front of the camera, so I'm doing my best here.
You did well. You did very well. And I'll just sign off here. Thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to connecting with you all again. Until then, be well, be wild, be yourself, and I don't know, be expressive,
Authentic.
be authentic. I knew there was something lingering in the room, like authentic, be authentic. All right. Now I'm going to stand up. I'm going to go walk around and hit stop on this camera.
Okay.
And you get to sit here and still be on the live stream.
Okay.
And you can either just stare deep into the camera or...
Who's watching me right now? Who is the one viewer? There's, I don't know.